Today I'm making focaccia, that lovely soft tasty Italian bread made with just 5 ingredients: flour, water, salt, yeast and extra virgin olive oil. First add 350 grams of flour to a bowl, followed by half a teaspoon of table salt, and then a sachet of instant yeast equal to 2 teaspoons. Now give the dry ingredients a good stir round to mix everything thoroughly. Using a spoon, make a well in the centre and add some of the water from the 210 ml measured out. Stir to mix, making further additions of the water, stirring each time. The dough is coming together as the water is absorbed and everything is combined. 1½ tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil are now added to the mix. The flavour of the oil is important. Here I'm using a strong fruity Italian oil. Having brought the ingredients together to make the dough, I'm now letting my trusty vintage mixer, fitted with a dough hook, take over the kneading for the first 5 minutes. Still clinging to the dough hook. At this point it's a very sticky dough. On an oiled work surface, I'm now going to knead the dough by hand for about 10 minutes. Dough is kneaded to aid gluten production, so it's stretch, fold and turn. Stretch, fold and turn. Stretch, fold and turn. This process warms and stretches the gluten strands, eventually creating a springy and elastic dough. When this is achieved, the dough is placed in a clean bowl and covered with cling film. This prevents a skin forming on the dough. It's now left to rise at room temperature. Today, here in the UK, it's the hottest day of the summer so far. The outside temperature is forecast at 32 degrees C. I don't know what the temperature is in the kitchen, but I can tell you one thing, it's warm. So after 1½ hours, the dough has doubled in size. Just look at that elasticity. The next step is often called knocking back the dough. After rising, the dough needs to have the excess air knocked out of it before proving. Knocking back makes the dough easier to handle and shape, and helps create a uniform texture to the bread when baked. On an oiled surface, I'm knocking back my dough using the same kneading technique. I'll continue to do this for 3 to 4 minutes. I'm baking my focaccia in this cast iron pan, which needs to be oiled generously. Now I'm covering the pan with a damp tea towel for the proving stage. This allows the dough to rest and become fluffy for about a half an hour. Whilst the dough is resting, I'm setting up the barbecue with a foil heat shield and grid, turning both burners full on, igniting and closing the lid for it to warm up. Back in the kitchen, it's time to remove the tea towel. Using my fingers, I'm making those dimples that give focaccia its unique identity. A drizzle of oil spread around a little, and that's the preparation done. So it's onto the grill and bake for about 20 to 25 minutes. The temperature's a bit on the high side, so I'm turning both burners down to minimum, and I'll keep the lid closed for at least 20 minutes. While it's baking, I'm crushing some rock salt crystals to sprinkle on the finished loaf. I just wish you could smell this bread fresh from the barbecue. It's giving off a really comforting aroma. It's onto a wire rack to cool, and whilst it's cooling I'm brushing it with more extra virgin olive oil and finishing off with a sprinkling of rock salt. It feels nice and soft, and it's cutting beautifully. And there it is, my focaccia bread. It can be served as an accompaniment, or as a starter with olives, sun-dried tomatoes, marinated mushrooms, or maybe some dipping oil with balsamic vinegar. That's how I make focaccia. Now the dough, once rested, can be split into 4 and make 4 flatbreads, which can be topped with various ingredients, such as rosemary and sun-dried tomatoes, or how about blue cheese, garlic and thyme. Now if you've got any suggestions, please let me have them along with your comments. If you like this video, then give it a thumbs up, because I like thumbs up. Now don't forget, if you haven't already done so, please subscribe to the channel. Well, that's all for this time, so until the next time, it's goodbye from me and thanks for watching.